What's up you guys, 11 Clicks here, and today I'm doing another review, this time of the Marvel Legends Infinity Saga, Thanos and Iron Man 2-pack. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this review. I'm waiting these for so long. I'm just so excited to have a Endgame Iron Man, the Endgame Thanos, you know, and these figures just come with all the trimmings, like all of these accessories, so I cannot wait to get this open. Look in the box, you get the Thanos logo and the Iron Man mark. I think it's 65, but I'll have a check in a minute. But yeah, LXXV, they don't Roman numerals, which I think is quite interesting. But yeah, you get this nice Endgame logo, you get the nice Infinity Saga box, again on the top, Endgame logo. Picture down the side, again the Infinity Saga picture, and a big old poster on the back, and read up for the two characters. So yeah, let's get this open. So out of the packaging, we'll look at the figures in just a moment, but first we're going to look at the accessories, and this figure set comes with an absolute jackpot of accessories. I mean, well, so for both Iron Man and Thanos, we're getting loads of accessories. So let's get into this. Firstly, for Thanos, we get this blade, which is looking really nice. Obviously it's the blade he uses, the double-edged sword from the Endgame movie. Just have a look at that. Really nice looking there. The sculpted detail on here is amazing, as you can see in there. All this detail, and the gold looks great. All the detail on here looks really nice, especially from afar as well. And it does have the blades on either side rather than the same side, which a normal double-edged sword might, because you know then you can go that way and then up and down. But I think it's so it can spin in the air, which is really cool. So yeah, that looks really nice. All the sculpted detail there. Probably go into it in more detail later. So then we get two hands for Thanos' right hand, which is a from the scene where he has the Hulk Gauntlet, and so we get this right hand, which is a fisted hand, showing the Hulk Infinity Gauntlet or Hulk Nano Gauntlet, with all the stones in. Looks really nice. Details pretty nice. In the film, I believe there was some grey up here, which isn't on here. They have it on the actual figure, as you can see. There's a bit of grey, but I do think there was some of it up around here, around that stone. But yeah, it's not on there, but it's not too much of an issue. It looks really nice still. And then we get this snapping hand, which looks pretty good as well. Looks really nice. Well, when I first took out the package, I saw that and went, "What have they forgotten to paint in it?" And then actually, like, I had to do a double take before I realised that obviously it doesn't have the stones in there when he snaps. So yeah, they are missing, which is accurate. But then also, as you can see, the snapping fingers are sort of moulded into one piece. Which, you know, would have been nice if it was like hollowed out in there, but as you can see, if you do it like that, it is very obvious that these are just moulded as one and they are not two separate fingers. But other than that, it looks pretty nice. So in terms of head sculpts for Thanos, we do get 4. Firstly, we get this nice helmeted angry Thanos, which looks really nice. I think this is probably just the same mould from the Build-A-Figure wave, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have that figure with me. These bits are loose, but the helmet doesn't come off. These bits are just not glued on. But yeah, it looks really nice. Detail's pretty good. I think maybe the paint on that left eye, or maybe this right eye, could be a bit better, because it looks like he's looking off to the side. But other than that, not too bad. You get the white teeth with the sort of purple gums, or even like a pink layer underneath, which does look really nice. Great detail on there. And then we also get this snapped Vanishing Thanos, which I think looks pretty cool. It's from obviously after Iron Man snaps, and then Thanos starts to vanish, and he's got a little battle damage, he's got scars on there, and then obviously he's got all this grey as he's starting to disappear, which I think looks pretty good. Obviously, as it's a head sculpt, you can't have like dust, so if you didn't know what it was from, you might think it looks a bit odd, but yeah, still looks cool. Back. Then we get 2 regular Thanos heads. We get a smiling one and a sort of stationary basic one. Both look really nice. Detail on the eyes is really nice. All the paint detail on the brows, the lines on his face. Not sure if they're scars or just sort of lines, but yeah, looks really nice. And then we get this sort of smirking, smiling one, which I think also looks really cool. Yeah, really nice detail on the corner of the mouth and everything. So yeah, that one looks great as well. We'll start off with this blade here, which looks really nice. You know, from the film, I'm not 100% sure. I do recognise it, but I'm not sure what scene it's from. I'm sure it's from a scene because I do sort of recognise it. It's not the one from the Infinity War. This is definitely from Endgame. But yeah, anyway, it does look really nice. I mean, it's not dual molded. It is just painted on red paint on blue translucent plastic, but the paint does look pretty good. Obviously it'd be nice if we had a little bit more paint, maybe some greys here and there, but you know, it still looks pretty good, and you know, it can go in his hand. But obviously, realistically, with the nanotech suit, he wouldn't hold it, would he? So that's not 100% accurate, but I guess what else could they do? They're not going to make an attachment port to the arm. It would be nice, but no, it just goes into the holding hand. But yeah, pretty nice. Then we get this shield piece, which I think does look pretty cool. This is from, well, I believe this is the mold from the Infinity War shield he has when he makes it out of his nanobots. But in Endgame, he uses sort of a force field shield, basically because when he was fighting Thanos, the nano shield kept breaking and he had to use more nanobots, which meant he couldn't cover his whole body with armor and have the shield. So he kind of learned from that and made it as a force field sort of shield now. But obviously this mold isn't perfect for that, because I believe this is the mold for the nanobot shield one that they had on the 2-pack with the Iron Spider that had the gold arms. But yeah, it still looks pretty good. I believe it clips onto the arm at the wrist sort of part. Obviously in the movie he holds it. It comes out the front sort of like that, but obviously you wouldn't really see that anyway. But yeah, we'll have to see what it looks like when I do the review of the figure. But yeah, it's very nice and solid. Very solid, thick piece of plastic. If you saw a Hot Toys one, I haven't reviewed it or got it, but they made it out of really thin plastic, like you have on a blister card window box packaging sort of thing. And yeah, that was not great, but that was really nice and solid. So then we also do get 2 Repulsor Effects, which is really nice, in the same sort of dark blue as the shield, which I think looks pretty nice to get more of these. Yeah, this one's really nice, straight. This one not so much. As you may be able to see here, it came out of the package. This one is incredibly bent, so I'll have to heat that with a hairdryer or something, and try and get that one to stick out. But obviously you can't take these bits off, I think, can you? Yeah, you still can. I was going to say with the old ones you always could, it'd be weird if these couldn't. But yeah, it's just a little bit stiff, which is going to be a recurring theme with these figures, I think. Anyway, moving on. Next, onto the head sculpts, we get 3. Not as many as Thanos, but still pretty cool. So first we get the Mark, I think it's 85, actually not 60. But oh, that's not. You've probably seen that, haven't you? Grey on that side, not on that side. That's really annoying. That's actually really annoying, because you can't get these anymore. I think they're all sold out. But yeah, there's no grey paint on this side for me. That is really not good. That is, I mean, come on, Hasbro, that is just really out of order there, because that just looks completely ridiculous. Yeah, other than that, it's a pretty nice head sculpt. From that side it looks great, pretty accurate. Obviously if you look at that side it looks terrible. I assume this is clearly just on mine, they haven't painted it, but that shouldn't have got through quality testing, should it? But anyway, try not to get too annoyed by that. This figure has a different type of head style, as you may see with the Thanos, and every other Marvel Legend just has a head port in there. This one comes with a neck piece as well, as you can see on all the head sculpts. I think we saw that with the Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. It's just so obviously down here that looks like that, but when he takes his mask off, because it's nanobots now, he takes it down further, so you can see his neck as well. So yeah, it's just making it more accurate. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's not cool. Anyway, next head sculpt, as you just saw a second ago, Tony Stark head sculpt, and I gotta say that is really good likeness of Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark in this figure form. That is really good. I mean, that is on par with, you know, Hot Toys and stuff. That likeness is just great, and yeah, the detail all really nice. But yeah, that likeness is very nice. And then we also get a battle damage head sculpt, I guess when he's snapping, and that neck isn't on right, is it? I think it goes like that, yeah. And yeah, and this looks really nice. Same Headsculpt, but with some nice little battle damaged effects added on, and yeah, they look really good. Yeah, very nice. And then we move on to the hands. We get 2 repulsor hands, looking pretty cool. Obviously they have peg holes for the Repulsor Effects. You get that grey on the back of the hand, looks pretty nice. And then these ones do hinge all the way back. They're completely stuck, but yeah, you can, as you can see, maybe this one isn't as much. There we go. Yeah, you kind of get him in a full repulsor firing pose, which is nice because with some of the other figures like the Mark 7 for example, you can't really do that. Anyway, we also get 2 fisted hands, again looking pretty nice with the grey, pretty accurate. No paint on the repulsors, maybe it would have been nice, but it doesn't really matter. Still look great. Then we get a left open hand for holding these 2, which looks pretty cool. Pretty much the same again, but just open. And then the piece all been waiting for, the Iron Man Nano Gauntlet. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. And look, it's actually hollow, unlike this snapping hand, which isn't. As you can see the difference. I mean, this one's tiny and they managed to do it. I don't see why I couldn't have done it with this one, but you know. Anyway, yeah, this looks really good. Stones are really good. The detail on the fingers with the grey looks really nice. The snap looks amazing. Yeah, it just looks really great. Much better than that. That looks, I mean, I said it wasn't that bad, but seeing that in comparison, it's just, I don't know, it just makes this one seem a lot less nice. But yeah, this one's really nice. You get this nice big piece along the back of the hand, not sure what you call it, over the wrist. Yeah, that looks great. So yeah, let's put all this stuff on the figures and look at it. And then, so in terms of the actual figures, first we can take a look at Iron Man. And I do just want to say, I've spent about 10 minutes trying to get him to stand up, and he will not stand up on his own at all. So I believe the problem is the feet. The joints are very stiff, and I can't really get this one to do much. The joint doesn't move, it just sort of bends and then moves back. I can't get the actual joint to move in this foot, which is really annoying. This one does work fine, as you can see, clicks, but this one just doesn't. It just bends, and it'll probably break off if I keep doing it. Sure, no problem with this figure, which isn't great. I mean, it's starting to annoy me a bit because I don't know why we can't just have nice figures with accessories. But without that, I mean, you know, that, and also, you know, joints not working, it's just not great, and you know, just not being able to stand up, and also all of the joints on this figure are incredibly stiff. I mean, that one barely even moved. I mean, it's not great. These are okay, but yeah, really nice to get. Also, this might sound a bit odd, but looking at this suit, especially like this part for some reason, down here, like the red, the gold and the black, really reminds me of the new suit from Spider-Man No Way Home trailers, the one with the gold, not the Iron Spider suit. Like, that's not new, but the new one with the gold, not the black inside out one, the new like suit where it's red and black and gold. Yeah, it just really reminds me of that. Maybe that's what it's inspired by when he makes it or something, but yeah, that just really reminded me of that. Anyway, let's look at this figure. So yeah, in terms of detail, it is really nice. All the grey and the gold looks great, very accurate. Looking a bit closer, I mean, down here, all this detail is really nice. All through the arms, you get the different coloured joints, you know, through here as well, looks amazing. All the way on the back and the legs, all that gold and black. Or dark grey, to be honest. What it actually is, but yeah, even the blue there, got a bit of like maybe paint or some sort of scuffing there, something. That's not great, but yeah, the blue in there. It looks nice. I'm sure we can't have that without some of the other issues with the figure. Which is still, just keeps really annoying me every time I see it, because it should look like that, and I'm not even sure if there's anything I can do about that. I guess I have to try and contact Hasbro customer support, because it's not really something you can just overlook, the entire detail missing off one side. And yeah, other than that, the figure is pretty nice. The detail on it is really nice, really great. And yeah, I'm really glad they added this 2-pack. I'm not sure, I don't have the single carded, I think it was, figure from the 8 Mark 85 armour, but I'm sure it's the same sculpt. But I think maybe this one has better paint. Usually stuff like this does, but again, I don't have the other one to compare it to. So in terms of articulation for this figure, I personally believe it leaves a little bit to be desired. The head only moves up that far, which is, I mean, not great. I mean, it's not really great. You can sort of get him to look like that, but you know, it's not going to be great for flying poses at all. Moves down that far and goes all the way around, and you get a bit of a head tilt. In terms of the arms, they move up that high. That was terrifying. And they move up that high, but like I said, they are very stiff, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah, I do think a lot of the articulation has been sacrificed for the look in terms of this figure, especially with that head. But yeah, the arms move up that high, they go all the way around, they click into place. Bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow, and then on this hand it moves back that far, forward that far. This one, it moves back that far, forward that far. On other hands it will be slightly different. I mean, the only other hand is this one, but I'll show you that when I show this hand on the figure in a minute. And then you do get the full waist, not waist, ab swivel, ab crunches forward that far, not very far, backwards that far, legs come out that far, kick forward that far, which really isn't very high, back that far, you get a swivel at the thigh, you get a double jointed knee, you get a ankle pivot, and then after look on this side, it moves back that far and forward that far. Again, like I said, this one still will not move, which is not great. I'll probably have to try and get a hairdryer or something on that, try and get that fixed. So let's try to see how he looks with some of these alternate head sculpts. First, let's try the Tony Stark head sculpt. There you go, all comes out in one piece. Tap it in. That's not quite in. There we go. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. His head does maybe look a little big, to be honest, but it's not too much of an issue. But yeah, I would say maybe it does look a little bit too big. Again, head sculpt looks great. That neck does look really great, just like it did in the movie. I'm quite pleased that they went with that. Instead of having this piece on this neck like they normally would, and you just have the head that comes off. Yeah, it does make it really nice, much more movie accurate. In terms of the other head sculpt, we get this battle damaged one, which I'll chuck on. There we go, and yeah, that one looks really nice as well. Yeah, again, like I said, maybe it looks a little bit too big from certain angles, but yeah, it does look really nice on the figure. So in terms of other hands, we can make this hand off. There we go. And on this right hand, we can attach the snapping hand, which looks really cool on the figure, as you can see. Blends really well, looks really nice. Like I said, this hand is just phenomenal. Really glad they were adding this, and it just looks so good, just like the movie. As I said many times, yeah, it looks great. And then in terms of this hand, you can take this one off, and obviously you can put whatever hand you want on any of them, as it comes with a lot, but I'm just saying for now I'm going to put on the holding hand for the weapons, and I'll just show you how you attach those. So with this one, you actually need the hand on for that one. You can put this on anyone, but I was just doing that. You sort of just attach it on the wrist like that, and it's sort of a bit loose, but if you move it up higher, it is a bit tighter, but you might scuff the paint. So yeah, you might maybe want to try and turn it around like that, and then have it sort of like that. But again, it's a little bit loose. You probably will have to move it down a bit, something like that. Beware of it scuffing the paint. Doesn't look amazing, doesn't look too bad either. Again, I kind of would have wished they had a oh, that looks like it's going to break already. You see all that white stress on the plastic. It's not great, yeah, but I do kind of wish I had a handle on the inside so we could hold it. You might be able to put his hand in there. Yeah, sort of. I guess you could sort of pose like that, but maybe it's for a picture, but I'm not sure. So you could do that, maybe with a fisted hand. You could sort of, yeah, so it will sort of work with a fisted hand, it seems. So here it is on a fisted hand. It's fitting there pretty loosely, as I was about to say before it fell off. But yeah, you can sort of get it on there, and that's how he has it in the film, although it's upside down. That is how he has it when Hulk is trying, when he's doing the snap, and Hawkeye sort of stands behind him. I think it's Hawkeye anyway. But yeah, it looks okay. It doesn't look too good. I mean, in terms of battle poses, you would have to sort of try and slide that further. But yeah, not the best accessory ever in my opinion. So then we move on to this one. On this one, you do need this left gripping hand. It won't work on any other hands, and you just sort of have to squeeze it in there. There we go. And yeah, and he just sort of holds that. Might be upside down. I'm not entirely sure which way he holds it in the film. Again, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. That looks better, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. You get him sort of flying through the air like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Again, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense, considering he has nanobots, so he wouldn't really need to be holding a weapon. It was just sort of, his hand would sort of turn into it. But yeah, it does look pretty good. I would say I prefer this accessory to the shield, definitely. So now we're just gonna, I just thought it might be fun to put him into that classic Endgame pose on camera. So I'm gonna put that hand on, take this head off, put on the battle damaged head, and then neck's gone the wrong way again. Almost. There we go. And then you want to have him on his knees, sort of like that. There we go. So there you go, you get a nice diorama and have the classic I am Iron Man snap. And yeah, I really like this. Definitely the way I'm going to be displaying him, especially because, like I said many times, no paint there, so I'm definitely going to be using this head sculpt with that. And yeah, that does look really nice. You could also maybe grab some effects pieces and have him, you know, when he first gets the stones on, you know, sort of like that, where he has all the electricity. That one probably won't work unless you sort of change it a bit. Yeah, maybe that could work. Try and do that one. You maybe use a couple different ones, sort of get that to work. Maybe that might look nice. Maybe one of these, if you wanted to. Don't know, maybe something like that. Just a thought. So of course now we're going to be looking at the other figure in this 2-pack, the Mad Titan Thanos himself from the Avengers Endgame movie. Looking pretty nice. So yeah, I think this figure is really nice to have. It's from the end of the film, obviously, when he has the Gauntlet and all this is battle damaged, and he's missing the right shoulder guard and also the right thing from there. And so yeah, let's look into some detail. Firstly, let's look at this guard. It looks pretty nice. This has got some very battle damaged weathered look to it. It all looks sort of dented and scratched. Making a weird sound, clicking sound, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, that does look pretty dented and scratched, really nice. Moving up to here, again, all this sort of weathering, denting, scratching. I do think it looks better on here though, than it does on here, because this one, the scratches and stuff aren't like painted, you just get this sort of grey paint. But I think that might be to do with the whole dusting effect that we get with this head sculpt, possibly. As you can see, it's just sort of that sort of grey effect over it. But yeah, it also could just be weathering because it is the same colour as all of this. But yeah, other than that, the battle damage looks really great, all the denting and everything. Nice we get the shoulder pad on there, but one missing there because obviously it gets knocked off. Down here, very intricate sculpting detail, we get all these flaps and everything. Then we get down to the legs, big boots, lots of gold and everything, looks really nice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Moving on to here, we get the Nano Gauntlet that Hulk had, and yeah, I think it looks really nice. It looks quite small on Thanos, but obviously he's very large. I mean, yeah, get some nice detail. This is the very dented, warped version because it was after Hulk's already used it. And yeah, you can really tell, and I think it looks really nice. We do get some great detail there, and on the sides there, which is pretty cool. So in terms of the first head sculpt, obviously it works really well on this body mold. It's the helmeted head sculpt, which looks really nice, especially with this looking great. Pop that one off quickly. Next head sculpt, we get this sort of very sort of stern, sort of not really any expression, if you know what I mean. Maybe sort of thinking, slightly angry. Then we get this Thanos sort of smirking expression, as you can see in the eyes in the raised corner. And yeah, I think that one looks pretty cool. Give it a little smirk. And then finally we get the Thanos getting sort of evaporating head sculpt, which I think is pretty nice. Sort of works with the figure, but personally I probably won't be going with this, as I'll probably be going for a maybe trying to snap head sculpt. I can't remember if he had his helmet on at that point. I think he did, but yeah, probably won't be using that one, but it does look pretty nice. So in terms of the Nano Gauntlet, sorry, obviously he has this hand with the stones, as I said before. You can take that one off and attach the snapping hand, which is when he doesn't have the stones anymore, as you can see. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'll chuck a head sculpt on. I'm trying to remember which head sculpt he has when he snaps. Does he have his helmet? I'm trying to remember. No, I don't think he does. It doesn't really matter. I'll just choose one. I like to leave these bits in so you can see before you buy it how much effort it is to sort of change all this around, as most YouTubers will just sort of skip that bit. But yeah, there you go. Oh, it looks pretty nice with the snapping hand on. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Obviously, like I said a few times, you can really tell it's filled in there. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. Obviously you have it like that, not like that, but yeah, it looks pretty nice. So we've got him back to this look and the sword. Just show you how to put it in. You just sort of slot in the hand, like so. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I'm holding the sword. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Sort of holding it. Yeah, I do think that works pretty well. I think the sizing is pretty good. And yeah, pretty nice overall. I'm really glad they included it. Very nice to get some posing with that. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe thinking about it, I might have him posed on display with the sword and this hand rather than the snapping one, but I don't know yet, we'll have to see. But yeah, it does look really cool. In terms of articulation with this figure, the head moves back that far and forward that far. It may be different with other head sculpts. So with one of the normal head sculpts, it moves back not quite as far. And then his arms moves up that far on that side, but higher on this side because he doesn't have the shoulder pad blocking the way. And then moves forward that far before it gets stopped by that. Backwards that far, about the same on this one. Although you can probably get it all the way around because he doesn't have the shoulder pad. Then you get a single joint at the elbow. It does move backwards a little bit, but you're not supposed to do that. And then it does also swivel. No wrist swivel, no sort of wrist swivel there, but this side I'm going to do first. So I'm trying to do this, but his hand swivels, but it's sort of difficult because it's got this pad on the back. So trying to see which way it hinges. Oh, there we go. So his hand hinges up and down like that, whereas normally it is like that on this side. So yeah, on this side his hand hinges up and down, but again you can't really move it at all because of this big pad. But on this side it moves the other way, so like that, and then it swivels. No swivel at the waist, and the crunch is one of these, so you can't swivel it there, but it crunches forward that far and backwards that far. Leg kicks forward that far, which is quite far, back that far, comes out that far. And we get we do get a thigh swivel actually, tell a lie. So yeah, we get a thigh swivel there, We get double jointed knees, and we get a boot that goes down that far, up, not really at all, and ankle pivot that doesn't really work because of these pads on the sides of the boots. So yeah, articulation's alright, not too bad at all. For the the size of the figure and everything. It's more smooth to use definitely than the Iron Man. As you can see, it's not completely stiff as a brick, and I can actually move everything. So that is really nice. So in a review of a 2-pack, it's pretty important to show the figures next to each other. So here they are side by side, and in my opinion, looking very cool. So firstly we have Thanos from this 2-pack next to the Infinity War Thanos from the Iron Man Doctor Strange and Thanos 3-pack. And so yeah, here are the two versions, the Infinity War and Endgame. And yeah, so I do really like this new one a lot more, this Endgame Thanos. Not just obviously it's a different version, but I mean, when what we do see that it's the same in terms of like the sculpting and the arms and everything, I do really prefer this new version. So now I'll show you the head sculpt compared side by side. Firstly, the helmeted head sculpt. Secondly, the sort of no expression, sort of regular head sculpt. And yeah, this is sort of where you can definitely see the improvements on the new Endgame figure. Here is the smiling / smirking head sculpt, and again you can really see the improvements they made on this new figure. And finally, here is the being dusted or snapped away head sculpt. In terms of swappability, you can fit these new head sculpts on the other body, but the tones don't quite match. And here we have the Endgame Thanos from this review compared to the comic Thanos from the deluxe figure, single carded figure. So yeah, there they are. And here we have all of the figures from the classic fight scene from Endgame where Captain America, Thor and Iron Man face off Thanos. Obviously he didn't have the Nano Gauntlet, as you can see back there, during that fight, but still pretty good representation to all of these, and the other good versions from the Endgame. So yeah, that's really nice, and you can finally take pictures from that back. So here we have the Endgame Iron Man next to the Infinity War Iron Man from the Infinity War 3-pack with Iron Man, Strange and Thanos. I'm sure you can definitely see all the new improvements, not just in the suit design, but in the figure itself. Obviously this one lights up and that one doesn't. As I've mentioned in the review, this one suffers from really stiff joints, and this one suffers from incredibly loose joints, as you can see. I just can't seem to get the joints right on these Iron Men. Here is next to my other MCU Iron Man figures. And here is next to a load of other Iron Man figures, including non-MCU Iron Man. I think this is all Iron Man figures now. Not 100%, I think I might have a few left somewhere else. But yeah, here we have the two Gameverse on the blue one on the right, and then the 2099, I think it was called, Iron Man. Now let's get into the posing. Overall, there's definitely good and bad with these figures. Overall, I do really like them, but my opinion will be formed more if I can get to Hasbro customer service, see if they'll sort this issue for me with the paint on that side but none on that side, because that is really irritating. Obviously, it's a bit of annoyance whenever I see that. So, but yeah, if I had that, I think I would really like these figures, and they'd be some of my favourite figures, especially that Iron Man is really cool with all the accessories. But overall, I just want to say these Tony Stark head sculpts are very good, and they are amazing. They are, Hot Toys level amazing head sculpts. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next review. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye.